So we're gonna start off with the first match, which I always predicted, which always normally happen in a takeover, which is the tag team match, the NXT tag team match with the War Raiders. Previously I said War Machine, but I'll go by them War Machine since that's what I know them for. And Ricochet versus Aleister Black. This match, in the beginning of the show, would have been match of the year. I mean, match of the night. Sorry, not match of the year. Match of the night, but that was taking place, so this match became second of the match of the night for me personally. And it was a great start for a takeover. This match was pretty much everything what you suspected from these four competitors, and to show the respect and the hard work. And what pretty much made me feel like a little with this match was because we kind of know for the fact that Ricochet and Aleister Black was not going to win this match. This match was just pretty much, you just know, hands down, this was going to be for the War Raiders, and the War Raiders was going to take this, we're just going to take this win. Like literally, they're just going to take this win because Ricochet and Aleister Black has a WrestleMania match that's pretty much a WrestleMania match with the Usos, the Bar, and Shinsuke and Rusev. So pretty much we already know they're already main roster bound because they've been to Raw and SmackDown so many times. And honestly, that kind of brings it down too, because it wasn't felt special because we've already seen Ricochet and Aleister Black so many times. And normally with NXT, since it's an hour show, we don't really get to see those superstars that much often. So just seeing them was just, seeing them, it always makes them very happy. And I was very happy to see the War Raiders actually more than seeing Ricochet and Aleister Black. And just the fact that Aleister Black and Ricochet needs to be their own person and they're stuck in a tag team, for me, it just brings the specialness out of the match, because it's kind of like two good wrestlers, and it's like I don't want to see you guys because I see you guys almost every other day, and plus you guys need to be on your own, and it doesn't scream tag team. But they're very, very good competitors, and they pretty much did a good job. And including War Raiders, like, this match was pretty amazing. You could just tell who was which tag team person was the ground man, which was funny because I was actually surprised to see Aleister being more grounded. I mean, Aleister is like in 50-50 with his matches, when he's like 50-50 up in the air and 50-50 grounded. But I was surprised how grounded he was. And I guess too because he was facing against Rowan, and Rowan was like the ground person, while Hanson and Ricochet was like most of the aerial, I guess, assault tag person. And this was a really, really great match. And seeing Hanson, the ability of a big guy, literally is just amazing. Like, this dude is huge, and he's able to just do a lot. He's just been able to fly, like doing a suicide dive and pretending to be a cruiserweight, going on the top rope, doing just pretty much dropping and doing backflips and cartwheels. Like, this dude is just pretty amazing. And just another thing that's also was just amazing was just showing the power of Ricochet, because Ricochet is like 195 pounds and able to lift up, I believe it was Hanson or Rowan. I don't know which one was it. I believe it's Hanson. But able to pretty much just lift him up and just throw him over. And it was kind of scary too, because it kind of almost looked like Rowan was about to land on Ricochet's head, but luckily that didn't happen. But just showing the power and the ability of just Ricochet have and the incredible strength that this man has was just pretty amazing. You know, the match started off pretty great. Aleister Black versus Rowan. They did it was pretty much a most likely just a good counter and pretty fast-paced counters. Both men's like pretty much was breaking each other down, and they just pretty much put the intimidating phase towards each other, and like towards the end they showed a mutual respect, and then they just tag in Ricochet and Hansen. This match was pretty amazing because you could just tell this great storytelling that they showed, and pretty much they show a lot of respect towards the components. Like they show a great respect for each other because they know that these matches was going to be great. Just to sum up the matches, how the match was, Hansen was set down on the floor, and Ricochet climbed back up on the top rope to do a 360 on Rowan, but Ricochet landed hard as Hansen put Rowan out to the ring. Black goes for a black moonsault, a big moonsault on Hansen's move, then leveled him with a clothesline to the floor. The War Raiders take Black down, and I remember, and this is where the scene where Hansen actually did a suicide dive to Black to make sure Black doesn't even interfere with tagging in. Hold on, sorry about that. There's an Amber Alert. So the next thing I know, sorry about that, my phone was going off. So next thing you know, after that, pretty much the War Raiders hit their finishing move, and pretty much they closed it out, and they retained their tag team titles, and they pinned Ricochet. And honestly, Ricochet took a beating. I don't know if Ricochet is a good seller, but this man took a beating. Like just looking at him and just the size, like just the attack and the like how War Raiders was just beating the crap out of him was just pretty amazing. Like honestly, you need to guys just see it. It's just pretty cool. But pretty much Ricochet, you could just tell Aleister did most of the work. And most of the work that he did, Ricochet did some great moves, but pretty much Aleister put in that work. And so at the end of the match, the War Raiders, they took a bow and they show respect to Aleister and Ricochet. And then at the end, you hear "You Deserve It" chants by the NXT crowd, because they know that this was the last match Aleister Black and Ricochet are going to be in NXT. And this was pretty amazing. And honestly, you can see Ricochet crying, and you can tell Aleister Black wants to cry, but he has to stay in character, and you can just tell. And like when the camera was pointing at him, you can just see him covering his face with his eyes, covering his face with his hand, and you can just tell like he really wanted to cry. And it was just a sad moment. It was really just a sad. It was really just a great moment to see these guys just, just seeing them, because they're going to the main roster, and we all know the main roster is not really going to treat these guys great. Hopefully they do, but knowing how the main roster is, they don't do great storytelling. They don't really do great with their performance and their characters. So hopefully that will change. But yeah, in the end, yeah, great matches between these two, and I can't say anything bad. Honestly, this was a great start for NXT and Takeover, and pretty much I was more excited for the next match.